Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday.
Ah, and what do we always say about Wednesday? Another beautiful Wednesday morning.
Another beautiful Wednesday. It's our hump day, so hump over your hurdle, tackle whatever you're putting off this week.
That's
But
right.
it's a great day, so also remember to be grateful.
It's a great reminder. Hump over that hurdle today. Don't
Yeah,
let that hurdle get in the way.
yeah,
Ooh, so
absolutely.
Courtney,
Yes,
you posted a post the other day and it read, "What is the best advice you've ever received?"
yes. And thank you to everyone who gave, I just wasn't expecting that. So there are so many gems that we needed to do a live about it.
So we're going to discuss Courtney's post that took fire.
Yes, yes. Okay, so how do you want to start going through them or
Yeah, let's go.
yeah.
All right.
Okay. Let's see. Yesty says learn to listen. Listen was our
Yes,
word of the week last week. So I
it
think
was.
that one really resonates. Let's see. Ashley says never ever take financial advice from someone who you wouldn't trade bank accounts with.
Boom.
That is a solid like
And why not, Courtney? Why do we not want to take advice from someone whom we wouldn't trade bank accounts with, besides the obvious?
because if you're not also in the arena fighting getting your butt kicked, I don't want to hear your advice. However, if you've done it, if you know it, if you've failed through it, I want your advice. I want your feedback. I want to hear your story. That could have tremendous value for me. But yeah, if you have no experience, but it's just operating from limiting beliefs and you're giving me advice from that, thank you. I love you, but no thanks.
All right.
I
For
don't
those of
want
you
to.
tuning
Yeah.
in, comment below what is the best advice you've ever received. Let's see here. Tiffany,
Yes.
favorite advice I've ever got. I
Yes.
have told you before, but it's my favorite advice to this day. Things don't get easier or harder, they just get different.
Yeah. That's one that Tiffany and I have talked about for many years. So she was specifically she received that advice and advice about children. So it was specifically was given as in it doesn't necessarily get harder or easier as the kids get older, they just get different.
Mm,
And that anyway, so obviously it means a lot to Tiffany and I love that she brought that up because that's just a golden nugget.
let's see. Jesse says, don't take advice from people that have never personally done it themselves.
Yes, that is correct, Jesse.
That is correct. Comment below. Let us know the best advice
Jesse,
you've
what's
ever
your
received.
all-time favorite? We'll give you a second. We'll come back to you. But Jesse, what's your all-time favorite quote?
Yes, tell us
That's
your
the
all-time
most
favorite quote.
yes.
All right, big shout out to Amanda here on your post. Shut the
We
F
can't.
up.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the best thing to
Hey,
do or the best thing to say. But hey, don't make it a habit all the time. But hey,
it's good advice. Sometimes you just have to shut the F up, right?
yeah, yeah. And she's kicking butt in the realtor world. So go, Amanda. Let's
Go,
see.
Amanda.
The importance of listening. James Kirk Hampton brought that up again. So thank you, James. Let's see.
Tiffany says, say what you need to say. Don't beat around the bush.
This is big. This is big. Okay, women, especially men, do not pick up on subtleties, but other humans do not pick up on subtleties. So this like, oh, I'm just gonna give them this clue and this. That's just wasting your time. It's just delaying what could be. So I say just jump into it. Be blunt. They don't
You know
like it.
what
Oh
the
well.
word is? You know what word it is when you know you're beating around the bush? The word that you say out loud and the word that you say to yourself when you're beating around the bush.
I think.
It is.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I say that because Ricardo's gotten on to me many times
Yeah.
for
The
saying I
minute
think.
that you say I think, it's you're making up an excuse for yourself.
Hmm.
You're
Yeah.
beating around the bush and just kind of putting it out there because for some reason we feel that we're just sharing a thought, i.e., I think that we won't get rejected or we won't be rejected as hard.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just wasteful energy. You don't need to justify anything. Just say you have a right to feel what you feel. By the way, I think that's a precursor to that one and people beating around the bush. You have a right to feel the way you feel.
Correct.
There's caveats off that like for negative and positive, but like you have a right. They're real feelings, so vocalize them. get
Yep.
move them out of the
All
way
right.
so you can deal with them. Okay, now
Back
this
to
next one.
Jesse,
Oh,
real quick.
yes. Okay.
Take it one day at a time. This can be in personal self development and health.
Yes. Thank you, Jesse, for that. Now, I love that one so, so much because, and I'll throw me and, well, I guess all my new habits, but alcohol, I had to learn, and something that really works for me is don't tell yourself you can never have something for the rest of your life. It's just today. And then tomorrow it'll just be tomorrow. And then, but like your goals, same thing. Don't be like, oh, I have to make $1 million in a year. No. What do you need to do in the next 24 hours to figure out tools to make, $100, whatever, so one day at a time, like really take that in
One
deeper.
day at a time is big.
Yeah.
For
Thank you,
those of
Jesse.
you tuning in, comment below. Let us know what the best advice you've ever received is. We're going through a post that Courtney posted on her Facebook, and we're going through the replies.
Yeah. So
All
this
right.
next one I'm going to take because it is Mark Carr, my Uncle Mark. Love you.
Uncle Mark.
So Uncle Mark says, remember, shit washes off. Now, I'll tell it like he told me growing up because I love that he posted that, but that is one of the two phrases that absolutely have changed my life with my Uncle Mark that just always resonates. So, but usually, so I hear it as remember, baby, shit washes off. So don't like confuse real things you can change with bullshit that you just go over to the water hose. But he also always told me not everybody's always right, but not everybody's always wrong. And so I think that that's a good one to include. But thank you,
Uncle
Mark.
Mark sounds like a wise old dude.
He is. He is. Yes. It's very
Uncle
wise.
Mark. Hey, let's call Uncle Mark up. Let's see what old Uncle Mark's got to say.
Yeah. He also, another one of my favorite phrases for sales training is point, aim, shoot. And one time earlier this year at this new job, kind of having a catch up conversation with him. And I was like, I just have to remind myself it's just point, aim, shoot. It's the same thing in this industry too. And he was like, and shoot straight. And so I added that. I love it. So
Shoot
point, aim,
straight.
shoot, and shoot straight, AKA be honest in your business. Do the right thing,
All
shoot
right.
straight. So
Rob commented.
now this one, thanks,
This is
Rob.
good. This is good.
I'll let you
We
take
got some
this one.
action.
Yeah.
We got some action going on this one. Rob commented, "Don't piss in the wind."
Literally and
Man.
metaphorically.
And then Uncle Mark comes right in behind that and says, "We must hang in the same circle."
Yeah. He almost said that.
He almost said that. But don't piss
So
in the wind, guys. In other words, don't shoot yourself in the foot.
yeah. Yeah. It's
Don't
coming back to you. So just be careful.
don't work against yourself. You already
Yeah.
have enough things in the world working against you. The last thing you need is to be working against yourself.
And like perfect, the next comment is Susan Young Kastner says, go with the flow. So
Oh,
just like you
yeah.
were saying, just go with the flow.
Big shout out,
So,
Susan.
yes.
Our buddy Susan.
Yes. Robin Bird, one of my, I always joke that they're my musical aunts and uncles, but she's from the musician gang from my dad. But don't smoke, finish your degree. Still solid advice. Finish your goal. Finish your whatever, fill in the blank,
Finish your
So,
goal before you stop, before you have fun.
yeah.
And don't let things distract you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely.
I think that's the big one. All
That's
right.
very good.
Rhonda
Let's see.
says, use your
Oh.
head for something besides a hat rack.
Yeah, I love that. And thank you. And this is the same Rhonda Bird Parker we were talking about the other day on Sean's call. And that makes me laugh. So she's also the one that says your mess is proof of your existence.
Boom.
So
Let me take this next one. Sean Murphy says the best advice he's ever received is make Courtney a friend and follow her.
I love you, Sean Murphy. Yes, wise man. Okay, we did miss one that I didn't see. Okay, Richard Wendell, it's one of my best friend's dads. Remember, better to remain silent and be thought of a fool than to speak and remove all doubt.
Boom.
Yeah.
Let's say that one again.
Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. Yeah.
Let that sink in, guys.
That one needs a deep breath. Okay.
Yeah. One thing that really just struck in me is we always feel the need to feel the air. We always feel the need that if there's silence, there's something wrong, or that something needs to be said, or that we need to say something to feel the air because there's something wrong if there's just silence.
Mhm.
in the meeting, in the conference call, and whatever, that the air needs to be filled. No,
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
really does.
Growth can still happen in silence.
Oh
Growth
yeah,
can absolutely happen sitting still. But we think we're a failure if we're sitting. It's just conditioning. Just undo that.
yeah.
It's not working. So,
Fred, Fred,
Fred
Fred, Fred.
Garza. This is the other half of the Cars Brothers, my dad's band. So,
Ah,
yeah, Fred Garza, you'll never be happy till you're happy with what you already have. And that is the golden rule. It's in manifestation world, guys, like you won't you it's as simple as like the Wayne Dyer analogy or quote uh is whenever you say to the world thank you or you do acts of gratitude or you put that out in the world, that's exactly what the universe will say back to you. Thank you. So,
yes,
whereas if you send out I want to the world, to the universe with your energy, whatever, the universe will then demand things from you, demand that energy, that desperate energy from you. And it's usually like broke, bills piling up, blah, blah, blah. It's bad kind of clutter happening in your life all at once. But that's exactly like what he's talking about. So that's just, there's so much depth that I don't think people get. Like until you can be happy with the dollar in your bank account, there are people who don't even have that. There are people with debt with a lot more than that, So until you can really treasure that, you won't get more of what you want. So it's really simple.
it is.
Gratitude is the key.
Real quick, for those of you tuning in, we're discussing the best advice you've ever received based on the post that Courtney Carr posted. That sounds weird to me to say that, but either way, comment below right now with the best advice you've ever received, and we'll continue sharing these gems that people dropped. Amy Davis.
Yeah. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Amy, one of our faves. Man, she's
Yes.
got abs, man. Amy's awesome.
She's a beast.
She is a beast.
A very feminine beast. Beautiful beast. If I say
Yes.
that. She's a great example of
There
that.
you, there you
Yeah.
go. The answer is always no, unless you ask.
Mm-hmm. You won't get hired if you never fill out the application. All those, I feel like they're just 100
Yep.
different.
The answer is always no, unless you ask. Mm.
Yes. Yes. And Estefania, an amazing makeup artist, said, never spend more than you make and never forget where you came from.
Boom.
Yep.
That's a good one. I'll let you take this next one from Mr. Mike.
Mike Wiley. Yeah, play Fender guitars.
Well, hey,
And on this one, I felt a little guilty after I responded because I was like 100%. But like, I also love Taylor guitars. So I was like, man, like, oh, I felt like I betrayed the Taylor guitar world. But anyway, so yeah, play Fender guitars. So I take that as play what you love, find what you love. Like, he's dead serious about that. But it's a joking, like, so what passion can you merge in that way? Like, come on. So,
James Cruz says, you can
yeah.
hardly ever go wrong doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let that sink in. This is another one that you have to let sink in, because I feel like sometimes we get caught up and just want to do what's easy or want to do what's best for us instead of just doing the right thing for everyone involved.
Yeah. I love, just thank you, James, because this one I feel like I've heard it my entire life, but I just listened to it this year. Like I really truly, and not saying I've gone about the wrong way of, doing wrong, but just so much energy in analyzing what you should do next when you're unsure. Just do the right thing. That's the option. Pick it and go. So it's just like all that energy you release from analyzing it and the anxiety. Just do the right thing.
You can't go wrong with doing the right thing.
Mm-mm.
Doing the right thing at the wrong time also works really well. The right thing is always the right thing. So it's kind of doesn't make sense because there's never a wrong time to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But now I'm rambling. Continue on, Courtney.
Let's see. Okay, Miss Tanya Chrisman. Okay, sleep when the baby's sleeping. Yes, I'm sure I will
Yes.
learn that someday soon. If you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Thank you, Tanya. Michelle Martini speaks of that one often. I believe it was Oprah.
It
I think,
is.
but yes, that's that one.
Madison.
Yes.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Mm-hmm. That's a
I don't
one
think
that we
yeah.
could really take in a little bit. Like, seriously, just prepare.
We
So
don't take
much can
Yeah, we
like
don't
go
take time to
better if you
prepare
prepare.
because I think we always wanna be optimistic and we wanna be like, "Okay, it's gonna work out. No matter what, it's gonna work out." And then the worst happens, and then we kinda get surprised. We get blindsided,
Mhm.
right? Because 'Cause we're
Yeah,
not
I love this
preparing.
one. I kind of try to fill in all the gaps. What's my exit strategy? What's this? What's this? And then build it. And then, but absolutely, like hope for the worst. I'd just pack my, suitcase for in case shit hits the fan. That's it.
So,
So,
there you go.
okay. Let's see. Ruth Rogers Kemp, a well rounded person can roll anywhere.
Ooh,
I loved that. And I'd never heard that. And she said, Russell used to say this, which I believe was her husband. And yeah, so a well rounded person can roll anywhere. Mic drop. But
boom.
yeah,
Think
that was,
about that. A well-rounded person can roll anywhere.
hmm yeah.
Man,
Emotionally, successfully, like just like how
forwards, to the
free
right, to the
does that like
left.
that's a very empowering line to me. Like it makes me feel like, oh, when I learn a new skill, that's a new level of freedom. So
Yes.
yeah, thank you, Ruth.
Susan
Yes.
Easton.
This is one of my cousins in Oklahoma, one day at a time. One day at a time. And I think that's the second time it's mentioned, but it deserves
It is
a double
worth
tap.
anyone.
Yes.
Amanda Cook.
Annette
Always
Cook
have
Swaggerty.
Annette. Oh, sorry.
No,
Annette
you're
Cook.
good.
Always have more money coming in than going out.
Which is the same thing as Stefania said. Never spend more than you have. Yeah.
Correct.
So, and then
Take
she came back again. Pretty is as pretty does. And that was one her mom told her. So any mom advice is welcome right now. Please
Mom
give.
advice is always good advice.
Yeah.
Beth says, just when they think they don't have you beat, oh, sorry, just when they think they have you beat, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yep.
when they think they have you beat, not you. Yeah. When they
Yeah.
think they have you beat.
Yeah.
Because I think that gives it more grit, right? This is one of those that needs grit behind it,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So you are more powerful. Or what is the David Goggins? You're only at like 70% when you think you're maxed,
40%.
40% when you're maxed out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You got a lot more to go. And
you
then she
do.
also quoted Annie Benjamin, another musician friend, sing pretty. Sing pretty. So that one's for
Sing
the
pretty.
ladies.
What does that
Yes.
mean to you, Courtney? Coming from a musician background, sing pretty. What does that strike in you?
Well, I think there's so I'm very much not the image type person. So to me it's I'm not the singer myself, even though I dabbled in that. I'm more I always joke I am a musician, but I play the radio the best. I enjoy just letting the song sink in. So like if to sing pretty, that would be like to put your soul into the song you're singing or to feel the soul of the song you're listening to, because it goes both ways. So sing pretty, that just like, I don't know, it adds like a little like dot on the end. I
Sing
don't know.
pretty.
I guess there's not words for it. That's my best answer. It's an emotion, it's a feeling,
It
but
is.
it's a happy one.
Take the
So
next one there from Miss
yes.
Annette Cook again.
Better to be an hour early than 5 minutes late for work from her dad. So I love that she came back with the daddy quote. Yeah. And I thank you, Annette. One that I wrote down, well, an old teacher used to say, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're screwed. I love
Oh,
that. Yeah. So,
that's a big one though. That's untimely advice. That's timeless advice.
mhm, yeah.
Advice. That's
And
timeless advice.
I also learned because I joked I used to be terrible at being on time. Terrible, terrible, you guys. I thought I was like cursed, but I realized I affirmed every day, multiple times a day, I'm always late. I'm always late. I'm always late. So what did I manifest?
Always being late.
Always being late. It's that simple. So now I manifest I'm prepared. I'm on time. And guess what? I'm prepared and I'm on time.
For
So
those of you watching, comment below, catching the replay, the podcast, whatever it is, let us know what is the best advice you've ever received.
yes,
Our
Mr. Alex
buddy,
Segal. Yeah,
that's our
let me
buddy.
take that one.
Awesome
He
Alex
is.
Segal. Awesome
Mhm.
Alex. He's going to come. He always brings it.
He does.
And he brings it simply on this one. Action speaks louder than words.
Hmm. Yes.
Action speaks louder than words. Because we can all sit here and jibber jabber, especially on Facebook, on social media, just jabber about how awesome we are, and then go and get in bed.
What was it all for?
What was it all
Nothing.
for? Like
Yeah.
all the jabbering. Like,
And I love
hey,
how Tamara brought up last week with listen that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So it's best when used in that proportion. But also you have 2 feet and 1 mouth. So I'm just gonna bring that proportion up that yeah,
boom.
action speaks louder than words. So
It does. It does.
yeah.
Plus,
Thank
here's
you.
one thing that I always think about when people just post all their highlight reels on Facebook is if you're doing so much, why do you have so much time to post? That's just where my head goes. I don't know. It could
I
be comment below.
there
Let me
was
know.
somebody I tried
I'll
to
definitely get feedback on that. I know I will. They send me messages on the side, but it's okay.
I'll throw one in, but I'll make it a story about me. But I'm bringing it up because in the last like week, I tried to help somebody and help them see this point, and it just I couldn't. But you remember years ago when I was like, I want to change the world, Ricardo. I just want to change the world, and I want to do this, and I want to do this, and you're like, well, start with you. And mind you, this is years after I've probably been telling him the same thing, what, probably 3-4 years straight. And I still don't have a plan. Like I'm not even closer to anything. And so, and you just were like, okay, let me break it down for you. First, you, then your family, your home, then your community, then your zip code, then your state, then the country, but like if you break it down into practical terms, how are you going to change the world? And so anyway, someone was it was just like, how can I want to make my million and I want to do this, I want to do this, but it was in a bunch of different groups, the same message. And so I commented and was like, hey, well, what are you passionate about? What are you this? Because he's saying he wants to work in anything. And so it resulted in a private message conversation where I guess he was picking my brain for what skills I could offer him. And I was like, no, what do you want to do? He's like, I want to make $1 million. Okay. And so I just kind of took a deep breath and was like, you got my vote, bro. Just go for it. But what that made me realize is how are you going to do it? I'm sorry, we just came up business mastery. So no, don't focus on how yet. What is it? Like, what are you passionate about? And typically your natural skills and all that will go in line with your passion. But that cracked me up. And I say that because you taking that on with me years ago really changed how I look at that. So
I saw that post and I chose not to engage.
yeah.
Because I didn't have nothing nice to say and it would have came across like really bad. And I think one of the best things about Facebook and Facebook groups, it brings you together with people across the world in opinions. But what I don't like about it is people think that it's a hub for advice. You can't give good advice over Facebook or Messenger. You just can't.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's only will ever be surface level.
It's only surface level.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you take this last one from.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, Brandon. Okay. You can't polish a turd. Solid advice. Yeah.
All right. Let me go one more with Mr. Robert Cole. Live life every day to serve something bigger than yourself.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Okay,
Richie Miller, also a few down. He said, other people's opinions of you are absolutely none of your business. And we talk a lot about this, but I love it. So I had to bring that up. Thank you, Richie. Other people's opinions of you are absolutely none of your business.
Correct.
Yep.
Oh man, this was so good, Courtney. I can't believe we just went through like best advice you've ever received. Comment below. Let us know what is the best advice you've ever received. And share this out because you might have picked up a nugget or two here and there. There was some that I've never heard before. So
yeah.
This Friday, Courtney.
Yes. So we have Miss Tracy Herbert on, and I forget the exact number, but I bet you have it up on the side, at 3,500 miles on her bike across country. And we are very excited to talk to her. She's just sounds like an inspiration and
so let me tell you,
passionate
Courtney,
about what she does.
I went and did some stalking on Miss Tracy. I went and stalked her a little bit to find out a little bit about. I don't want to know too much because I want to be surprised and listen to her story for the first time with everyone else. However, she was diagnosed with diabetes.
Oh.
And was given a diagnosis that was less than ideal. That she didn't have very long to live. And then, so with this in mind, she went and rode her bike across the country.
That's incredible.
And she showed those haters that were giving her this diagnosis that it was an incorrect diagnosis. Ooh.
There is power in that last statement. I can't wait to hear more from her. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay. You'll have
yeah.
to tune in on Friday. We're really excited
Friday.
about
This
this
is
one.
Friday. Be
Yeah.
looking out for it. We're gonna be posting this and making sure you guys tune in on Friday for Miss Tracy Herbert.
Yes. Yes.
It's gonna
Absolutely.
be so good. Oh man. All right. So Courtney, what else? That's it, man. I think we've done it.
Yeah, I was about
We're
to say we
done.
could keep going, but we're only halfway through. So we, if you want to go, it's a public post. Go add to it. I would love to. I'm just really enjoying this. But yeah, what's the best advice you've ever received, or what are you passing on your legacy? Are you sharing your golden nuggets with your children? Are you, you know, inspired by what you do? Like, if not, just turn the knob a little bit.
Do something
Turn,
about it.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back on
Yes.
Friday, like we said, with Miss Tracy Herbert. Make sure you go and visit forceforgrowth.com to subscribe to the audio podcast, our YouTube channel. Show us some love on YouTube and iTunes,
Woo-hoo.
guys.
Yes.
And if you're tuning in on the Audible, on the audio, on iTunes, Google Play, leave us a review.
Yes.
Boom.
Yes.
Have a great day, everybody. And we'll be back on Friday with Miss Tracy Herbert.
Happy Wednesday. Have a great one.